Here's your teams with the most championships. If you go back to
overall,
yes.
Okay.
Minnesota's number 10.
Okay.
At 6. Oklahoma number 9 at 7. The Ohio State ties with Harvard at 8 national championships. Southern Cal and Michigan tie at 9. Notre Dame, number 4 with 13. Princeton, number 3 with 15.
15 national championships.
Yes, going back to 1869.
Okay.
That's why I say those have got to be the historic
Yeah.
teams. Alabama is second with 16 national championships. And Yale is number 1 with 8.
I never guessed Yale.
Mm-hmm. But here's what I'm getting at. Alabama went from 1930 to 1961 without a championship.
Mm-hmm.
25, 26, and 30. Those were the years. And then 61, 64, 65, 78, 79. And then it wasn't again until 1992. And then it wasn't again until 2009, which started, I guess, the Nick Saban era.
Yeah. What would you again from the TV era? You want to throw Alabama in there? You want to put Miami in there? They were so good. You want to put Florida State in there? Probably.
But Miami's only won 2 in history, in school history.
And that's since the 80s, right?
That would be in 87 and 89.
Okay, yeah, Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, I'm sorry, in 2001. That would be the Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson would be in the 90s. In the 80s, 90s.
In the 80s. Then that would have been 87 and 89, 83. So I've got 4. I'm sorry.
Schnellenberger was 83 or 84, whatever that was. I would put Alabama, Miami, Florida State, Southern Cal, Oklahoma.
Let me give you one that might surprise you that has a national championship, and I did not know this. Maryland.
Didn't know that either.
Maryland won it in 1953. They were champion on the AP and the UPI. Yeah, that's back when you voted.
Who coached? Was Bear Bryant coaching Maryland?
I don't know.
He coached. Did he coach Maryland? I'm thinking Maryland or Kentucky. Texas A&M. Jerry Claiborne. Who coached Maryland back then?
I didn't know that he ever coached at Maryland. Bear Bryant.
Bear Bryant coached at Carolina.
Gene Stallings.
That's it. Who I'm thinking of. Yep.
And Minnesota was Hayden Fox.
Fry.
No, Hayden Fry was at Minnesota.
Hayden Fox was coach on the TV show.
Oh, okay. With Luther and Dauber. Stop it, Richie. Richie threw me off there. Thought he was being serious. All right, the Bears' coaching career.
That was Minnesota State.
Assistant in North Carolina. He was at North Carolina.
He was during the war.
Maryland, he was there in 45.
See, I was right. I did that.
Then Kentucky, then A&M, and then Bama.
Okay.
Who was the other one you asked? You asked another coach.
Oh, I said Claiborne, Jerry Claiborne. He was at Maryland, I know. But I wonder who was the coach when they won the national championship.
What would we do if we didn't have the Google machine?
I'd go to the public library and look it up.
We wouldn't get anything done.
We just find it out faster.
Okay. All right. Jerry Claiborne was there from 72 to 81. He was the one that recruited me then.
Okay.
And he was the second winningest coach. Curly Bird was number 1. And that you got to go back to 1917 to 1934. Jerry Claiborne from 72 to 81. Ralph Fregent from 01 to 10. Jim Tatum from 47 to 55. Bobby Ross from 82 to 86.
So Jim Tatum was the coach when they won their national championship in 50, whatever it was.
3. That would be correct.
Curly Bird.
Curly Bird. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No. When we say 53, Bear was there for 1 year.
Is that all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
1 year, 45.
So we're just throwing out and going down rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
Which college or university has won the most national championships?
Total. All sports.
No, football.
I told you. Harvard.
College or university, any level.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll throw out there Mount Union, maybe.
I don't know how many of that North Dakota State has done, but
They
they've
won, yeah.
most national.
It may be Yale. It may be that 18.
football
But Mount Union's won a bunch, Division III.
levels. I can't get it to give me that.
Type in Mount Union national championships. See how
They're
many-
Division III, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mount Union football
Division
championships.
III football championships. I can't type under pressure. Championship totals. That's championship. Mount Union with 11.
Okay.
And that's recent. That's from 93 to 12. They haven't won one since 12.
In 10 years.
Mount Union had.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's 11 championships in what? 11, 7,
30 years, roughly. Well, no, if you go back 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
I mean, it's been 30 years since they won the first one, but.
They won 11 out of 20.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive. But
Yep.
still not up to the 18 that Yale had.
That's correct.
Maybe Yale has the most.
Undoubtedly. Now, let me look. Let me get my Google search back up here.
North
Division
Dakota
two.
State. They're 6 or 7 or 8 maybe.
Most appearances is Northwest Missouri State
Mm-hmm.
in Division II.
I think Valdosta or Northwest Missouri have the most championships, I think. No?
No. Current members is Northwest Missouri State with 6.
Okay.
And they have the most, period. Followed by Grand Valley, Valdosta State at 4.
Gotcha.
Minnesota Duluth at 2. And then you've got Colorado State, Pueblo, Delta State, Ferris State, Northern Michigan, West Florida at 1. And then former Division II members that have moved up would be North Dakota State. They won 5 while they were in Division II.
So you add up how many they have now,
At
They're-
FCS.
they're in double digits.
Yeah.
Easy.
And we'll look them up. North Alabama
Mhm.
with 3. Northern Colorado, Texas State, Troy with 2. Cal Poly, Central Michigan, the Blue Hens, Delaware. Eastern Illinois, Jacksonville State, Lehigh, Louisiana Tech, Montana State, North Dakota, Texas A&M Commerce all have 1.
Okay. Again, it might be Yale with the most championships overall in college football since the beginning.
Well, the only other one, and this is just, it's going to be a short sample because of the years, would be FCS. North Dakota State's got 9.
9 in FCS?
And they had 6. They still don't catch.
That's 15.
They still don't catch.
That's pretty close.
Yale. Yeah.
Somebody else said 16. So that, yeah.
But they've won 9 in 10 years. They won the first one in 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm sorry, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17.
16, James
18,
Madison won it.
19, and 21. So
Yeah.
they've won in 11 years.
Yeah.
9 and 11 years. That's pretty impressive.
And there's no talk of them moving up.
Mm-mm.
They're quite happy with being the big fish in the little pond.
Now, the question I thought you were asking, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me go back here and see if we got any other comments I need to catch up on. Jeff Meadows said Stanford in there. No, Stanford. Here's an interesting. I thought you were asking what school had the most
national championships.
Yeah, that is Stanford.
Okay.
Stanford with 123. And it's because they have so many Olympic sports.
Yeah, there was talk back a couple of weeks ago when all this expansion and realignment going on that the ACC should go out and poach Stanford because of their academics and because of all their other Olympic sports that they've been really good at, and maybe poach another school besides Stanford. I don't know if it's Oregon or what.
You can't make that cross-country stuff work. I don't think. Number 2, well,
you can.
Your top 3 schools with over 100 championships each are all in California. Stanford, UCLA, Southern Cal.
Okay.
UCLA with 118, Southern Cal with 107, Oklahoma State with 52, Penn State with 5, Texas with 47, Arkansas 46, Carolina at 44. Now, Stanford and UCLA have won national titles in 20 different sports. Carolina is number 8 on the list with 44 in 7 different sports, and UCLA is 43 with 7 different sports. And there's Maryland again. Maryland's tied for 15th. Only 3 schools out of this list have won more than 52 championships in their history, and they're all 3 California schools.
Wow.
That's Stanford, UCLA, Southern Cal, and then Oklahoma State is number 4 at 52, and they are 55 behind third place.
Wow.
And then it's kind of tied after that.
Yeah.
From 4th to 15th is 52 to 31. So there's quite a tightening after that. That's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. If I could read that would be good. Now, when you get into specific sports, Oklahoma State has won the most
in baseball.
Wrestling. 34. Southern Cal with 26 in men's outdoor track and field. Iowa at 23.
Wrestling?
Mm-hmm. North Carolina has won 21 women's soccer championships.
Soccer and lacrosse, they're big at.
They are tied for 5th. Yale golf tied for 5th at 21.
Who was the coach at Carolina soccer? Dorrance?
I
think it was Dorrance. Dorrence.
You are so far over my head now.
That was Mia Hamm's. That run of great players and great teams.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Richie said there was history made. There was history made last week when Gigi Jackson, the overall number 1 recruit, decommitted from Carolina to reclassify and committed to the Chickens. That makes Gigi the first ever player to decommit from Carolina in basketball. Think the roster's too full, Richie? I mean, you're a Carolina guy. Brandon said UNC did not have a place for him to reclassify and attend this year. He's working to get through his one-and-done season to hit the draft, and you're probably right.
And that's another popular thing, the reclassifying
and what does
of
that
kids.
mean? How does that work?
I don't know. There are a lot of kids from around here that reclassify. They take their first year in high school and they reclassify. I guess it's basically being held back.
Yeah, 2 senior years.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that when you get to college pre-pandemic, and everything was off the table then, but when you got to college, you had 5 years to play 4. Now, you could get a medical exemption if you had some kind of dramatic medical condition.
Yeah, or had an injury.
They would give you an extra year, but you basically, the rule was you had 5 years to play 4. And now it's all over the place.
Well, nowadays kids are, they're practicing in the summertime. They're taking summer classes. They graduate in 3.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in some of the other sports. Mm-hmm. In football, some of them are doing it.
That there's nowhere for them to go after college. Professional ranks, I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're in it to get their education and play.
and play. And
which is kind of the way it
or-
was supposed to work.
You graduate in 3 years, you got 2 years eligibility left, right?
Yep.
You get a
your
fresh-
master's.
So
Some of them do that.
you can
or
go-
transfer.
You can transfer. A lot of them become graduate transfers, and they get 2 years.
Richie said, yeah, he originally wasn't going to transfer. They asked him if he wanted to when a place came open. He told the staff no. They offered Nance and filled the spot. He then blew up this summer with AAU in another league. Now he wants to reclassify.
College basketball, can't keep up with it. Kids change commitments every other day.
Well, you heard what who's the commissioner?
College basketball?
No, pro in the NBA.
Oh, it's Adam Silver.
Adam Silver has already said he's hoping that the next collective bargaining agreement, which is not that far off, will allow kids to come straight out of high school. The reason they didn't do that is because they were trying to protect some of the veterans that never get to play so they could continue to get a paycheck. Because that's who these players would take their place, some of these veterans that are on the bench.
How many players do you think coming out of high school now
Less than 5.
are ready?
Less than 5.
Yeah. I think it'd leave less than that.
But I'm just saying that would be a max.
Yeah, 1 or 2 at the most.
So why do you not allow it? What are you going to hurt? It's not like you're going to have a –
Yeah, I don't think you are, but I think they need to be a little bit more lenient with the rules where to say, okay, I'm going to commit, I'm going to come out, and then it doesn't work out.
No.
That's
what you were just complaining about.
What?
We've made it too easy. Make a commitment and make them stick to the commitment.
Okay, so you come out.
You go play in a G League.
Okay.
You want to be a pro, be a pro.
What about if you are a –
There's more money, more NIL money than G League.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly. Again, we're like the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
You're a junior football, and you come out, you say, I'm going to make myself eligible for the draft, and you get drafted in the 7th round as opposed to, say, the 3rd or the 2nd. Could you have the option of returning to college?
No.
Why?
Why? Make a commitment. That's what's wrong now. That's your cake and eat it too. I'm going to go test the waters. And if I don't get what I feel
stick my
like
toe in the water, right?
No. If I don't get what I want, then I want to go back. We're going to own a mulligan. I want a do-over.
It's maybe the kid gets bad advice. Maybe his
agent. Then the kid should have been better off in choosing who helped him.
Okay.
You better quit listening to the posse.
Again, it'll eventually work itself
Thugs in
out.
Paradise.
It's at some point. You're right.
To me, I think that's the same thing that you're saying. If you let them enter, it's just like saying, okay, in basketball, there's 2 rounds, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to enter the draft, and if I don't get drafted, I want to come back.
Okay.
No.
Well, you can do it in other sports. You can do it in baseball. You can do it in baseball. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you come out of high school. You get drafted out of high school. You get drafted in the 10th round. You say, nah, that's okay. I'm going to go to college. I'm doing my college commitment.
But they don't retain agents.
You think? Yeah, they do.
Do they really?
Some of them do.
Okay, then why are there different rules for the different sports? Then I'm confused. I thought the rules were the same when it came to professional.
No.
Okay.
No.
Andrew said should not be treated like an application process. That's correct. I think you give kids the option, and they need to see if they made the right choice.
Well, you go off to junior college coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
You get drafted out of high school, and you don't like it, so you say, I'm going to go off to junior college. You play 1 or 2 years where you can be drafted again. And if you don't get drafted where you want, then you go off to a 4-year school.
But now, Andrew, now wait a minute. If you or I go interview with Company A, should we be allowed to stay or go back to Company B? Most people don't leave Company B unless they got the job at Company A. The saying is it's easier to find a job when you have a job.
Mm-hmm.
versus not having
Or do
a
what
job.
coaches do is they go off and they say, I'm going to go interview here, da-da-da-da-da, and the next thing you know, they get a new contract extension.
It don't work that way with employees. Usually you got to leave. Then they'll pay you more to come back
Yeah.
when they find out they really do miss you and want you to be there.
But these athletes aren't employees. They're not.
Tomatoes, tomatoes.
Yeah, but they're not. They can't be.
Tomatoes, tomatoes. I'm still waiting to see the tax implications.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like that, Richie. So what about a sophomore, junior goes and tests the NBA waters and then decide to stay?
You could do that if you don't hire an agent.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Do you like that?
We do it in other things, right?
I know.
I'm going to go interview for a teaching position, but if I don't like the interview process, I can go back. I'm not going to tell my other school till I make a final decision. Same thing with coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with other job offers. I'm going to go talk to another radio station. They're thinking about expanding. May or may not work. Thanks for the offer.
College coaches, Ronnie said, good college coaches have enough contacts that they know where a kid would be drafted into the pros and help them make that decision. And that's what they do.
That's what they should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they still got to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it because there's not enough commitment to the college ranks. I want you to make a decision, and then you stick with that decision.
You make the commitment. Well, how about from the college or universities? And let's have a 3-year commitment from them for the scholarship, not every year.
I have always said that.
But it's every year now.
I know. It was when I went to school. Mine was a 1-year renewable contract.
Yeah.
Provided I didn't get arrested or stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Put it in writing. Say this scholarship will be good. It'll roll over automatically for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. But I want you to stay.
But if we change coaches and a new coach comes in, we want to run you off because we want to get our guys in. Or we got all these guys over here in the portal we want to bring in, but wait a second, we don't have any room. Let us get rid of some of these other guys.
You can't get rid of them. But I think the player should have the option to leave if a coach changes. Because it does matter if you're a specialty type player
but
where you fit in the system.
If I'm a coach and I'm going through the portal and I see a couple of players that I want in the portal to come on my team, but hey, my roster's kind of full right now, my scholarship things, what am I going to do with these kids that, they're on the bubble? These guys over here in the portal can make me have a better team. Do I find a way, say, son, you need to look elsewhere. Here's some other opportunities for you. Kind of push them out and bring in your guys. That's happening.
I don't have a problem if a coach is honest with a player and say, look, your skill set doesn't fit my system. We'll look at you. This can be hard.
But you recruited him. You should have known this.
No. I'm talking if you change coaches.
Okay.
If you
well,
change
I
coaches.
understand that. I'm just saying, but coaches that are already there.
No, he's your kid. He's your kid till he's done. You messed up, that's on you. That's not on him.
Well, your job's on the line, too. You got to win so many games that year. I'm going to get the best players I can get.
Then he's not having to live with his commitment and his decision.
Oh, I know, but that's happening, right?
I didn't say it wasn't happening. I just say it's not right.
Yeah.
Those commitments, just like I don't like coaches changing jobs in the middle of a contract.
They do that.
And that was my biggest complaint on why I didn't think a player should have to wait a year. If a coach can leave you and immediately coach in a week, then a player should be able to do things.
And again, it goes back to a lot of these things with everything. More and more things in our lives are gray. There's not as much black and white anymore. And I don't know if it's ever going to, like you said, the cat's out of the bag and you can't put it back in. Okay.
Ronnie said, my opinion, a kid should go in college at least 2 years to at least adjust to being on their own and make some decisions on their own. Brandon said college athletics have become a business, so now it's like business world. A new CEO can go out and replace their staff and make it grow better fit for those. Either we treat it like a business or we treat it like amateur. Can't have it both ways. It can never be amateur because there's too much money involved.
At the top levels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're talking about 10% or less. The 800, 900 schools in the country they don't operate it as a particular business.
That's what you say.
They do.
I think there's some seedier underbellies out
Oh,
there.
I agree there.
Maybe not as prevalent as the top.
But
levels
there's not a total free market capitalistic college university out there except for the top, percentage.
and those should be separated.
Yeah.
And everybody else held to different standards.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I agree. No. But you have to have rules that work both ways. It can't just apply to players and coaches have a different rule. That's
and
not
administrators and everything. You got to have a better model. And maybe that's why all this talk over the next 3 to 4 to 5 years when all the new TV.
Do you know
money's coming
why
in,
they don't have a better model?
they don't want one?
Because the administrations and the coaches hold all the chips.
Yeah.
That's
Like
why
I
they
said,
don't want a different
What's
model.
best for us? What's best? Don't worry about them. What is best for us? What's going to make us?
I don't know how many coaches are really serious when they look mom and dad in the eye and say, I'm going to take care of little Johnny. Don't you worry about him. You send him with me.
I would say 800, 900 colleges, universities, they're probably like that.
You're a very optimistic person.
Now, I think there are.
Okay.
If you look at levels at the smaller schools, coaches that have been around for 20 and 30 years, that's what they're trying to sell. Mm-hmm. They're selling the university, the college, and the people that are coming and playing for them, they don't have aspirations of going to the pros.
Probably. Let's just say probably.
I think we all should have I think we all at some point in our young lives, we know our limitations, or we come to realize what our limitations are.
Not unless somebody's been honest with us.
Somebody's been, yourself, in your gut.
But a lot of kids don't want to admit that.
Yeah, but when I lined up, this was again back in the dark ages. I knew when I was 19, when I lined up against somebody that was bigger, taller, faster than I was, I knew that this is probably the highest I was ever going to play. Even if I was going to play at all. I wasn't aspiring to go into the USFL. Guys know when players are really good, and guys know either themselves or your teammates when you're not somebody. You're just a guy.
I inspired to do it, but I had the realization, I've said this many times before, that when I got there, everybody was at least as good as I was.
Yeah.
And most of them were better, mainly because they were older, more experienced. But I didn't see myself when I came in as being head and shoulders above anybody that was on the roster.
No, but a lot of kids nowadays think that that's the professional ranks, whatever sport is, that's for them. I always thought, and my philosophy was, don't let sports use you. You use the sport to get where you need to go to aspire to get where you want to get to.
Brandon said, you are realistic, unlike the social media generation and mommy daddy saying that you're a D1 talent. Everybody's a star.
They're smoke blowers. Is that what you call them?
Everybody's a star. We gotta
they're
go.
Smoke blowers.
I know that. You know that. They don't know that. Have a great day. I hope I feel better tomorrow.
You sound better now.
Right now I feel like crap. I got too much to do. Have a great day, guys. See you.